This is July 8th, 2026 edition of Basketball Wednesday. First sports segment back. We are back in action. We are ready to go, chat. So today we're going to be going over the NBA transaction / draft of the past few weeks since I haven't been streaming, right? That's that. And I'm going to go full screen so I can tell you what else I'm doing. We are doing, also going to go over the big news of since the last NBA Wednesday to today. All of that news from D1 men's college basketball. And then we're going to go over the entire World Cup up to this point. Because again, the World Cup sports segment will go on Tuesdays after the American football sports segment. But instead, because we have to do it today, because I want to talk about the World Cup before it gets too late. And yeah, so starting next Tuesday, all World Cup sports segments, when the World Cup happening, obviously, will be on American football Tuesday. But for today, it's gonna be Basketball Wednesday, just for this week, though. Okay, that's the plan today. NBA transactions, D1 men's college basketball news, World Cup. Okay, and the draft is gonna be in the NBA player transactions. So just stick with me there. That's what we're doing that. So honestly, we'll just get into it here. Again, this is a lot, so we're going to quickly go through everything. So, yeah. Trae Young, this starting back on June 17th, so again, this is a while ago. So, Trae Young declined a $48.97 million player option with Washington. He ended up re-signing later. Mark Williams became a restricted free agent. Kobe Bryant became a RFA. D'Angelo Russell exercised a $5.97 million player option with Washington. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope exercised his about $22 million player option. CJ McCollum signed to a 1-year, $21 million contract, etc. with Atlanta. One more year with CJ McCollum there. Gary Harris exercised his player contract option. Jalen Durham became a restricted free agent. Dusty May became the coach of Dallas. This is interesting. Dusty May obviously won a national championship with Michigan. I think that was an interesting sign for Dallas. Dallas is going to still suck next year, though, but that'll help him a little bit, I guess. Craig Porter exercised his player option. Julius Randle got traded to Brooklyn from Minnesota as a part of a 3-team trade. Chicago got, I'm not even trying to say that name, to Minnesota. They traded him to Minnesota. Minnesota traded a 2026 first-round pick, 28 overall, to Brooklyn. Brooklyn traded Nick Claxton to Chicago. Brooklyn traded a 2026 second-round pick to Minnesota. So Minnesota got a second-round pick, that guy. And I believe from what I got here, they also traded around a first-round pick and Randall away. So, yeah. Nick Claxton, that's kind of what we talked about. The Sumo got agreed a 5-year, $112 million contract extension, includes 2030 to 31 player option. So yeah, that's a big contract right there. The guy we just already did that. Adrian Abanta, here's a draft. Adrian Abanta got so we talk about Micah Nori, coach for the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah, Adrian Abanta first overall. Adrian Abanta is going to fit right in with that Wizards team. I'm telling you, if the Wizards can stay healthy, they would look good next year. They got Trae Young, Keyshawn George, Adrian Abanta, Anthony Davis, and Alex Sarr is the starting lineup. They got DeAndre Ayton, Bob. I think it's Bob. Regardless, coming off the bench. A couple other pieces also coming off the bench. Chris Middleton coming off the bench. They got their deep team. It's going to come down to health. If they can stay fully healthy for most of the season, I could see them competing toward the top of the East. If they can't stay healthy, they're going to be a play-in team. It just comes down to if they can stay healthy. If they can stay healthy at the fullest potential, they will be competing for the top of the East. Book it if they stay healthy. Do not come back to me at the end of the season and say they finished bad if they were hurt. It does not count. If they were injured and they finished bad, tell me I'm wrong. But if they're hurt, it doesn't count. But if they are healthy, they will be toward the top of the East. Trae Young is so underrated that people are forgetting how good that guy was. If AD can stay healthy, he's a 26-point-per-game player. He averages a double-double. Alex Sarr is a beast. He's so young. Keyshawn George is a beast as well. And Abanta was number 1 overall pick. Abanta is a beast as well. Their starting 5 is so good. So good. And they got Chris Middleton, Bob, I forgot which one it was. Regardless. DeAndre Ayton and multiple other pieces also still coming off the bench. Like, the team is deep. They have star talent. and they just need to have chemistry and work to and stay healthy. If those two things can happen, I don't see what's holding them back. Daniel Peterson goes number 2 overall to Utah. Utah's also another interesting team. They got 3 very good big men, and now they got a star guard in Dan Peterson. Let me go to ESPN here real quick to look at these rosters. Hold the phone, hold the phone, hold the phone, hold the phone. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, their starting lineup would be Keontae George, Jan Peterson, Larry Markin, and Jaren Jackson Jr. and Joseph Nurkic. Philip Kowski, Sanders Ball, Ace Bailey, Collier, Jackson Hayes, all coming off the bench. This team will be an interesting team. They could mess around and get a play-in spot there out of the West. They'll probably make the. I'll tell you now, they're gonna make the play-in next year. They'll make the play-in next year. I mean, they won't be like a contenders or anything. I could see them getting like a 9 or a 10 seed in the West, but I think they'll make the play-in. They have Larry Marketing, who can shoot lights out at small forward. He's a big small forward. Jaren Jackson Jr. plays lockdown defense. He can really do it all. Nurkic is a true center. Dan Peterson's an elite guard, and Keontae George can also really do it all. He's also a pretty good point guard. They're deep. They got Collier, Ace Bailey, Phil Kowski, and Jackson Hayes all coming off the bench. Like, they need some playing and playoff experience, and in the next couple of years, they could really take a step up and really start becoming that playoff team in the next couple of years. This year, I can see I'm taking that leap into the play-in. Cam Boozer goes 3rd overall to the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are going to be one of these teams that are they're not going to be good. They're in a really tough conference regardless. Scottie Pippen Jr. is a starting point guard. That's concerning. Cedric Howard, Jeremiah Grant, Cam Boozer, and Zach Edey. Like, they got Cam Boozer and Edey, 2 really good pieces. They got 2 great big men. Cedric Howard wasn't too bad towards the end of the last season, but just they don't have the pieces. Caleb Wilson to the Bulls. The Bulls are going to be a top play-in team, I believe. They're going to be either 7 or 18 next year. In the East, potentially the 6th seed, but I have them being the 7th seed right now, personally, in my projections. But they got their starting lineup can be Josh Giddey, Norman Powell, Bruce Ellis, Caleb Wilson, Nick Claxton. That's awesome. Like, Josh Giddey nearly averaged a triple-double last year. Norman Powell averaged 20 points a game. Bruce Ellis averaged 20 points a game. Caleb Wilson can average 20 points a game and like 7 rebounds. Nick Claxton, he's a smaller center, but he's very athletic. They also got Rob Dillingham, Trey Jones, Dalen Swain from Texas, Patrick Williams, and Jalen Smith coming off the bench. Also, Isaac Okoro also coming off the bench. Like, they're deep. They have the star power. They have some experience together last year. Like, Gideon Buzel was awesome last year when Powell was great in Miami last year. Wilson was phenomenal in the University of North Carolina last year. This team, I could see this team. I have them being 7th in the East next year, but I could see them being anywhere from 6th, 7th, or 8th in the East. That's my projection, just that. Last playoff team / top play-in team. Last playoff / top play-in team. For the Bulls next year, I like what they're building in Chicago. Keaton Wagler from Illinois is going to LA. This guy is just an elite scorer. He can shoot, he can finish, he has great step backs, he has great handles. He can really take over a game at any time, and I like what they got there. That true point guard, he could really do it all. He can play defense too. He's very well rounded, so it'll be. The depth chart right now, starting lineup would be Darius Garland, Keaton Wagler, Brandon Ingram, Derrick Jones Jr., and Brook Lopez. Coming off the bench with Bennett Mathurin, Chris Dunn, Hachimura, Isaiah Jackson, and the team. I could see this team being a play-in team as well. They'll be competing for play-in. Will they get it? I don't know. The West is stacked. But they'll be competing for a play-in spot for sure. They'll probably get a play-in spot. They'll probably get like the 10 seed. 9 or 10 seed competing with the Jazz. It'll honestly probably be the Jazz and the Clippers for a play-in matchup. I could see that happening. I think the Jazz will win that. Mikael Brown Jr. goes to Brooklyn. The team is not great, but they got an elite 3-point shooter that would really help. They have a lot of good prospects. They're looking really good in the summer league right now. They have a lot of prospects. Just right now, it's not it yet. Darius Lecoq Jr. goes to Kings again, just an elite scorer. He played under oh my God, what's Arkansas's coach's name? No, I have negative ball knowledge. Oh my gosh. Arkansas. I cannot believe I can't. John Calipari. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Negative ball knowledge, apparently. I knew that. I just forgot. I knew who John Calipari is, but he had a year under John Calipari. Just an elite scorer. He was really one of the main piece on Arkansas last year, and they were a very good team. Kingston Flemings from Houston again goes to Atlanta. They were had a year under Calvin Sampson from Houston, coach, and just he can score. There's a lot of scorers in this draft, and he's one of them. He's projected to come off the bench. That's how deep this team is. It'd be C.J. McCollum, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniel, Jalen Johnson, and Kongwu. So the same starting five from last year. But like Kingston Flemings would be the sixth man. They also got Corey Kispert, Aaron Wiggins, Jock Landale, Reese all coming off the bench. So the team is very deep. And I have them being a playoff team in my prediction. I have them being, let me see here. I have it in my camera roll, what I have right now. I have them being actually, no, I don't. I have them being the 8th seed. Who do I have above them? Oh, I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I have them being the 8th seed, but I could see them being above the Bulls. I could see the Bulls being the 8th seed and the Hawks. I'll have the Hawks being the 7th seed. And again, you might say, like, oh, they got better. How'd they fall down? Because the East is so much better. And we'll talk about that further down the line. Morez Johnson Jr., Dallas is not going to make Dallas any better. Dallas is just not a good team. Braden Burries, he was great in Arizona. He's really just an Arizona type of player. He plays both ends of the court. It's a really good piece. Another good piece at a deep prospect pool in Milwaukee, especially what they got from that Giannis trade. Not because they have a good future, but right now they're going to suck next year. Yaxel Landenborg, one of the steals of the draft. He can easily average 20 points per game, like 8 rebounds. He could be a dog. And that team, the Warriors team, if they do get LeBron as projected, actually, I don't think they're going to get LeBron at this point because LeBron, I don't think he's going there anymore. I did, but I don't think he is anymore. But Warriors can be pretty decent next year. Amara goes to the Thunder. He's probably going to be Hartenstein's main replacement. Chet can move back to the power forward. So it would be, SGA, J-Dub, AJ Mitchell, Chet Holmgren, and Ade Mara, the starting lineup, something like that. Like, this team, they're going to win the West next year, regular season and playoffs. I'll tell you that now. This team is insane. Nate Ament, power forward, goes to Miami. I don't know why they decided to get another power forward. I don't know. I'd rather have them get Bennett Sturts to that spot, but I mean, regardless, I think Ament could be better than Bennett Sturts, but just not positionally. I mean, I guess he could play small forward, but I don't know. They don't really have any true guards over there right now that I truly believe to do anything when it comes to playoffs. Steinbach from Washington, I believe, or Northwestern, one of the two. He was great. He's one of the most underrated players in college last season. He was very good, power forward. Dayton Swain, small forward, goes to Chicago. We talked about him earlier in Chicago. Hornets are going to take a step down, I believe. I could easily see them missing the playoffs. Bennett Sturts, point guard for Memphis. Again, Grizzlies have some good young pieces, but they're not going to be able to be any good next year. Okori, point guard, goes to Oklahoma City. Just add to the depth. Christian Anderson, point guard from Texas Tech. He's just an elite scorer as well. That helps Charlotte. Firelon, he's just an elite scorer as well. Goes to Philly. Of course, Philly got a good piece there. Ejiofor from Houston going to Atlanta. Other piece, like Terrence Reed Jr. from UConn going to Denver. What team do you think LeBron will go to? It's either going to be Cleveland or Golden State. It's going to be Cleveland, Golden State. Chris Inack Jr., also from Houston, going to Boston. Joshua Jefferson from Iowa State. I'm surprised he fell this far down. Caravan, also from UConn, goes there. Koa Pete. But Bennett Sturts goes to Oklahoma City for a Corey and a second-round pick. Oh, I believe 2 second-round picks, yeah. Bennett Sturts, I just cannot believe Oklahoma City getting away with this. Iowa's my favorite team. I'm from Iowa. I live in Iowa, but just wow. Austin Reeves signs a 4-year maximum contract with the Lakers. They went all in on Reeves. I think Reeves is a good piece. I think he's an elite finisher. He can really get to the rack. He has nice handles. He can shoot the ball. He's elite offensively. I just don't know if he has a defensive presence to really get a maximum contract, but I respect it. But he's an elite finisher. He can really drive a team. Him and Luka's going to be 2 elite scorers together. They see Walker Kessler is going to be a good piece. I could see the Lakers being a playoff team next year out of the West. This is a huge trade here. just like a big trade, like 4-team trade, not necessarily like a huge, like big time trade. Bruce Thornton gets drafted by the Knicks, but it was actually the Rockets who drafted him. I don't know why it says the Knicks, but the Rockets drafted him. Yeah, see right here, he got traded right there. So, I mean, you kind of look through there. Al Horford declined his player, but LaMelo Ball traded to the Timberwolves for Naz Reid. So Charlotte got, Minnesota actually got LaMelo Ball, Josh Green, 2028 pick, and a 2023 first round pick, a 2029 first round pick, and a 2030 first round pick. This is just explained terribly, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Naz Reid got traded to Charlotte from Minnesota for LaMelo Ball, Josh Green, and all that. I don't think that's what happened. I don't know. This is explained terribly. But look, regardless, the thing is LaMelo Ball and Naz Reid. LaMelo Ball is going to be insane combo next year. But Naz Reid in Charlotte's going to be, I don't know, man. That East is so stacked. I don't know. I would have to think more about that before I make... We got a long time before I make my predictions. But I'm just saying. See over here, Josh Green traded to Minnesota with LaMelo Ball. Buddy Hield agreed to push back guaranteed date to June 28th. Bojan Bogdanovic ended up signing with Houston. You see here, Grayson Allen got traded to Charlotte and Royce O'Neal for Miles Bridges in the first round pick. Couple of other moves here. Freddie VanVleet exercised a $25 million player option. James Harden declined his player option. Draymond Green also declined his player option. I'm trying to go out the free agency here. There's so much moves here. Hold up. Kawhi Leonard got traded to Toronto for Brandon Ingram, Grady, and a bunch of picks. Kawhi Leonard's a Raptor again. The Raptors are going to finish top 5 in the East next year. I genuinely believe that. If they can stay healthy, the Raptors are really, very good. Bojan Bogdanovic signs with Houston, coming off the bench. Jack Collins has a 2-year contract with Chicago. Luke Kennard signs with Phoenix. Amari Williams signs with Boston. Marcus Smart also signs with Houston. They made a couple moves. Norman Powell signs a big free agency deal with the Bulls. Vucevic signs with the Magic. Mo Wagner signs with the Nets. Kessler goes with the Lakers. Sexton goes with the Lakers. D'Anthony Melton goes to the signs with the Warriors. A couple of other moves he's be active for. Signed a contract with the Hawks. Jackson Hayes signs with Jazz. Tobias Harris goes to the Spurs. Lindenberg signs. Ryan Conwell signs a contract with Miami. Koa Pete signs with Phoenix. Darren Peterson signs with Utah. Emmanuel Sharp signs with the Kings. That Bennington signed with the Wizards. He's Sanford waived by Oklahoma. Tari Eason signed a big-time extension with the Rockets. Pat Spencer signs a 2-way contract with the Suns. Morris Johnson Jr. signs with the Mavericks. It's a lot of stuff happening there. Terrence Reed signs with the Spurs. You can kind of look through here. Phylon signs with them. Josh Okogie signs with the Jazz. Scottie Pippen Jr. Fully guaranteed. Money, we see here. Braden Berries signs with Milwaukee. Giannis gets just as a trade right here. Giannis traded to Miami for with Bobby Portis for Tyler Hero, Yami Jaquez Jr., Kel'el Ware, Casper, I don't know how to say his last name, Nate Ament, a 2030 first round pick, 2031 first round pick, a 2033 first round pick, and a 2033 second round pick. Winner of the trade, Milwaukee Bucks. Okay. I don't know, dude. I think Bam Adebayo, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nate Ament, and oh my god, who's the point guard? I don't remember who the point guard is. Aaron Wiggins as well. I think they'll be a playoff team next year just because of the pure star talent they have on the team. But they're not going to do anything in the playoffs. But the Bucks got a true star. Like 4 great prospects. Not even prospects, but they're NBA players. Like 2 to 3 of those players are NBA players, and 1, maybe 2 are actual like genuine prospects. 3 first round picks and a second. Like they stacking up right now. Al Horford signs a contract with Golden State. Kobe White signs a contract to Charlotte to stay at Charlotte. Jose Alvarado resigns with New York. Hartenstein resigns with Oklahoma City, and Andrew Wiggins signs with Miami. Tim Hardaway also signs with Miami. That's gonna be good. They needed a guard. Paul George, Jaylen Brown traded for Paul George, a 2028 first round pick, 2031 first round pick, 2028 second round pick, and a 2030 first round pick. Jaylen Brown is a superstar of this league, and he traded for washed-up Paul George, two first round picks, 2 first round picks and 2 second round picks. Sixers is the fleece, man. Sixers they are gonna win the East next year, at least in the regular season, potentially postseason too. They're just so good, dude. Dorian Finney-Smith traded to Charlotte for a cap space for Houston. Arno Drummond signs with New York to replace Mitchell Robinson. Couple of moves up here. Bruce Thornton signs a big contract with Houston. Hunter Dickinson has a 2-way contract in New Orleans. A bunch of moves from the Lakers. A million freaking moves from them. Quadio Copeland signed a 2-way contract with Houston. Isaiah Stewart traded to Memphis, part of a 6-team trade. We are not reading that. You guys can see all of that, but that is just insane. Santi Aldama goes to the Mavericks. Isaiah Stewart goes to the Grizzlies. AJ Johnson goes to the Grizzlies. So does Quinton Post. Karis LeVert goes to the Bucks. Taurean Prince and Gary Harris go to the Pistons. Chris Middleton goes to the Wizards. Marcus Sasser, Tarek Bibovic goes to the Mavericks. John Collins goes to the Pistons. D'Angelo Russell goes to the Grizzlies. Quentin Post declined matching this year's $30 million offer, and Larry Nance goes to the Pacers. That's where we're at right now. That was a lot. That was a lot. Last few talks of the NBA here. I'm gonna go over my quick standings predictions as of real quick. We want to do that just real quick, just so you guys know where I'm at. West, this is regular season standing predictions for the end of next year. So just a brief, we'll go full predictions towards way later when it comes closer to the season, but it's just a brief, so you guys kind of know where I'm at here, okay? You guys kind of get a little sneak peek. Number 1 in the West, we'll start with the West. This is my predictions for the end of next year. Thunder. We're starting from 1 and we're going down to 8. Actually, no, we're going to start with 8 and we're going to go up to 1. So we're starting with the worst, 8. 8 in the West, and then we're going to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, starting in the West. Lakers going to be number 8. Trailblazers 7. Nuggets 6. Warriors 5. Timberwolves 4. Rockets 3. Spurs 2. Thunder 1. East, going 8 to 1. Hawks number 8, Bulls 7, Wizards 6, because I cannot trust them to stay healthy, but no, I'm not going to say anything else besides that. Heat number 5, Raptors 4, Cleveland 3, because I really think they're going to get LeBron. Knicks are going to go number 2, Sixers are going number 1. Sixers are winning the East next year, regular season at least, potentially postseason as well. That's just a brief sneak peek of my predictions. We got a lot more predictions, deep talk, all of that stuff down the line, but we are not going to go anything else. I'm just going to tell you guys that. Feel free to share your opinions on that, see what you guys say, but I'm just going to tell you where I'm at right now. A lot could change by then. Yes, I may even use ChatGPT for this, but it's okay. It's a-okay. It's a-okay. June 17th, so this is a bunch of D1 college news over the past since the last Basketball Wednesday. June 17th, Arizona's recognized the Final Four season program shifted to focus the NBA draft and remaining roster decisions. Not much happened that day. June 18th, former Iona guard Adam Nehe, I'm not even gonna act like I know how to say that name, and Jr. was permanently ruled ineligible for gambling. You can kind of read on that. Iowa finalized a marquee non-conference matchup with Alabama. It's going to be played in Des Moines on December 21st. That's huge, especially for an Iowa fan. I love to see that. We need to win that game. Green Bay signed head coach Doug Gottlieb to a contract extension. NBA draft preparations. What are we doing? ChatGPT, dude. Oh my God, ChatGPT. Mad. I'm mad now. Okay, I'm not mad. We're good. Okay, here we go. Arkansas announced a summer expedition tour in the Bahamas. Don't know why I care about that one. NBA draft included there. Preseason rankings began taking shape. Started updating top 25 projections after drafts and transfer portal activity settled. Teams shifted from roster building to player development. Summer practices continued. International recruiting, roster evaluations. Coaches prepared for the July recruiting period. Summer workouts reached full speed. Michigan retained key transfer despite its coaching change. Michigan's roster stayed intact for the most part. Summer recruiting activity slow for Independence Day weekend. No major national D1 men's basketball news. Teams resumed full offseason workouts after holiday. BY continued pursuing front court help. Front court is like power forward, center. Back court is point guard and shooting guard, if you're wondering. Louisville announces Bahamas expedition schedule, and summer recruiting remained the primary focus across Division I. So yeah, that's what we're cooking like right now. We'll talk more about college basketball predictions and talk like that. Down the line, we ain't got predictions yet. You gotta wait on that. But that's all the news. Right now, we're talking about the news to keep us up to date. So now we're in the World Cup. So that's technically the end of basketball sports segment. Now we're transitioning into the World Cup sports segment. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And then after this, we're gonna end it and stream. It's not as long as I thought, but the World Cup thing could take a while, so I don't know yet. But we're gonna find out, right? Again, I didn't talk a single thing about the World Cup, so we gotta start all the way from the beginning, chat. We gotta start all the way from the beginning. It's all the way from the beginning. It's all the way in the group stage. Here we go. We're starting in Group A and we go all the way down. Winner of Group A is Mexico. Their first game, they win 2-0 in South Africa. This was a pretty good game. They did get a red card in the 92nd minute, but Mexico did. But they had 60% of the possession. They had expected to get 1.41 goals. They had 16 chances. They dominated that game. Rangel and net had a couple of big saves. They opened the scoring in the 9th minute and they really took over. South Africa did not start good. Mexico also beat Korea Rep 1-0. Korea Rep actually was winning that game. Like, they had majority of the possession, but Rangel had another 2-save performance. He had a good Romo with the goal on the 50th minute. No other goal. Mexico just had great back line. They really held the door down. In the third game, it didn't really matter, but they won 3-0 over Czechia. It was a pretty even game for the most part, like possession-wise, but Mexico was the one that actually got the most chances, got the most expected goals, most shots on target. Just really were finishing, getting into the dangerous areas, and actually finishing the ball, and that's what really led a 3-0 win. They perfect in the group stage and moving on. They have a favorable matchup in the knockout round. South Africa actually finished second. They obviously lost that game to Mexico 2-0. And then they tied Czechia to get a point, and then they won a huge game 1-0 over Korea Rep. They needed to win this game to get in. Again, there was 68% of the possession was for Korea, but South Africa was able to get the goal in the 63rd minute, and they were able to hang on, and they find a way to get out of Group A. Like, South Korea definitely should have got out of Group A, but they did it. And Mexico and South Africa, the teams get out of it. Mexico looked really good. South Africa sneak out of there. You never know, they could be a sneaky team, but they're probably not going to do much, and the other teams missed out. Going down the Group B, we got Switzerland's going to start off here. Switzerland started off tying with Qatar. This was underwhelming. They were dominating majority of the game. They had a lot of chances, but Qatar goalkeeper Abdunada made 5 saves, really kept them in it. Switzerland played good, just not good enough to get the extra 2 points. But they smoked Bosnia 4-1. That game they were just dominating. They had 62% of the possession. They were finishing the opportunity. What a game for them! And then they ended up a chance to win the group. The winner of this game won the group against Canada in Canada, and they won it. What an incredible game for them. They got the job done over Canada. They did, and they won the group. Speaking of Canada, that's what we're going to go talk about right now. It's Canada. Canada tied the first game with Bosnia, then dominated Qatar 6-0. Jonathan David got a hat trick. Or is his name Jonathan David? Yes, I thought so. Jonathan David got a hat trick, and then they lost to Switzerland 2-1, so they head into the group stage. End of group stage, finishing second in the group after losing to Switzerland. Bosnia and Herzegovina tied the first game with Canada, got smoked by Switzerland, and ended up beating Qatar 3-1. They would finish as the third place finisher, got into the group stage. Qatar were just a punching bag. Qatar was not good, but Bosnia Herzegovina able to sneak in. Switzerland and Canada were the two clear best teams in that group. And then we got Group C with two great teams in Brazil and Morocco. First game, Morocco and Brazil tied. Brazil beat Haiti 3-0 in the next game. They completely dominated that game. Vinny Jr. got a goal. Luna got 2 goals. And then in the third game, they beat Scotland 3-0. Vinny Jr. got 2 goals that game. And they looked really good. Yeah. And then for Morocco, they obviously tied Brazil. And then they beat Scotland 1-0 and then beat Haiti 4-2. The goal differential. And went in the favor of Brazil, and they able to get the job done, and they win the group. But Morocco comfortably went out of the, not comfortably, but they definitely made it out of the group. Scotland were trying to hope that they could get in, but they just couldn't get into the third place finisher, and Haiti had no chance at all. Group D is an interesting one. Obviously, I live in America, so I was a USA all the way kind of guy. If you look in this group, the United States of America, their first game, they come out flying. They dominate Paraguay in Los Angeles. They completely dominate them. Bolgan had 2 goals. Just what a game for them. They completely look like they've turned everything around in American soccer. Next game, without their star, Christian Pulisic, they get the job done 2-0. It's a very defensive Australia team. They have 62% of the possession. Matt Freese made a couple of saves. What a game for them. What a game for them. They lose to Turkey, but I mean they played all the backups, so it basically doesn't really count. So, but they did really good. They won the group comfortably right away. Australia able to finish second in the group. They won 2-0 over Turkey, which was supposed to come in. Turkey was supposed to compete to potentially win the group, but they just got completely shut down by Australia. They lost 2-0 to Team USA, and then they tied up Paraguay, which is enough for them to get in the knockout stages. Paraguay got smoked by America, able to somehow find a way to beat Turkey, and then tied with Australia, and they got into the knockout round with the third place finisher, and Turkey, one of the most disappointing teams in the tournament. Look at Group E now. Germany won that group comfortably. They dominated the first game 7-1, and then they beat the Ivory Coast 2-1. That sealed the deal right there. They won the group, and then they ended up losing Ecuador 2-1. Ecuador needed that to get in, and they got the job done. They were able to get in the knockout stages. The Ivory Coast finished second in the group. They beat Ecuador 1-0 to start, lost to Germany, and then beat Carrico. And they got into second place, and then Ecuador. I mean, they lost the first game. They tied the second game. As soon as they tied to that bad of a team, I'm like, oh no. And then they beat Germany to get in to the knockout stages. Group F. Netherlands won this group comfortably. They tied Japan to start. I wouldn't say comfortably, actually. I take that back. But they won the group. They tied Japan. They smoked Sweden, and then they beat Tunisia to win the group. They got the job done. They needed it. Japan obviously tied the Netherlands and then smoked Tunisia and then tied Sweden, and they were able to win the group. Sweden, they had their chance. They smoked Tunisia, got smoked by the Netherlands, and they couldn't beat Japan, so they finished third, but they got in as the third place finisher. They did. Group G now, Belgium won that group. They tied Egypt and Iran, so we're like, oh no. And then they smoked New Zealand 5-1, able to win the group. Egypt, they couldn't capitalize on Belgium's poor playing. They tied Belgium, obviously. They beat New Zealand, but they were unable to beat Iran to win the group. They could have won the group, but they just couldn't beat Iran. Group H now. Spain ended up winning this group very comfortably, I would say. They tied Cabo Verde, which was crazy, but then they smoked Saudi Arabia and beat Uruguay. Obviously, Cabo Verde somehow tied Spain, and they tied all 3 of the games. They were just sneaky in all the games, and they were able to get in. Uruguay tied 2 of their games, including with Saudi Arabia and Cabo Verde, so they were able to get in. So Cabo Verde and Uruguay were able to get in on just ties. Actually, Uruguay didn't make it. What am I talking about? Uruguay did not make it, but still. Group I, France, obviously they won all 3 games. Beat Senegal handily 3-1, beat Iraq 3-1, or 3-0, and they smoked Norway 4-1. They were just comfortably the best team in the group stage. Like, they were just so dominant. just wow, they comfortably won that group. But Norway was also in that group with Holland, smoked Iraq in the first game 4-1, able to beat Senegal 3-2, then beat and lost to France 4-2. Senegal able to actually get in on only the one win over Iraq. They won 5-0 in the last game. That was enough to get them in. Group J, Argentina won that group pretty comfortably. Beat Algeria 3-0, Austria 2-0, and Jordan 3-1. They looked awesome. Messi obviously got a hat trick, just insane. Yeah, Bedard did have surgery on his shoulder, by the way. I did see that. That sucks. We'll talk about that tomorrow, but yeah. Austria got second in the group because they were able to beat Jordan and tie Algeria, and that got them in. Algeria also got in because they beat Jordan and tied Austria, so both of them got in because they tied, so they both got in. Group K, Colombia ended up winning the group. They smoked Uzbekistan, beat Congo DR barely, and then tied Portugal, and that's all they needed. Portugal got second. They tied DR Congo, smoked Uzbekistan, and tied Colombia. They could not get a goal against Colombia, and they fell short there. And so they got second. DR Congo actually able to sneak in because they beat Uzbekistan in the last game. They tied Portugal and then beat Uzbekistan to get in. What an impressive thing for DR Congo. Then Group L, England wins that group. Beat Croatia 4-2, which is very impressive. They tied Ghana and then beat Panama. So they got 7 points. Croatia got second. They lost to England, but they won the last 2 games. 1-0 against Panama, 1-0 against Panama, and 2-1 against Ghana. Ghana also able to sneak in because they beat Panama and they tied England, so they were able to get in at 4 points. So that's what we're looking like right now. Group winners of the group stage. Group winners were Mexico, Switzerland, Brazil, United States of America, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, Spain, France, Argentina, Colombia, and England. Those are the group winners. Second place runner-ups were South Africa, Canada, Morocco, Australia, Ivory Coast, Japan, Egypt, Cabo Verde, Norway, Austria, Portugal, and Croatia. Third place finishers that was able to get into the tournament: Bosnia and Herzegovina, Paraguay, Ecuador, Sweden, Senegal, Algeria, DR Congo, and Ghana. Those are the third place finishers that were able to get in. Every other team was left out. Went to the knockout stage here, right? And then here we go. Canada, the first game, Canada and South Africa. Let me pull up my phone here. We're talking about this here. Hold up. Hold the phone. Okay, Canada and South Africa in the first game. This is a very even game. Actually, South Africa had majority of the possession, but I mean, Canada had the majority of the chances. They got a lot of chances. They had a few great chances, but Ronwen Williams and net for South Africa was really able to hold the door down for them, and they were just sticking in it. A few great defensive plays. And then in the 92nd minute, Estaquio for Canada in the 92nd minute walks it off. What a game, what a goal. Canada, the Canadian hero, sends them marching on to the round of 16. What a way to start that off. And then we got Morocco and the Netherlands. Very even game. Netherlands actually opened the scoring. A great goal from inside the box. He just snipes it, top, bottom, quality goal. And then the 91st minute, Diop from Morocco ties the game. Top bins, header, top bins. What a goal to tie the game. And then we go in the penalties because extra time couldn't solve it. And the winner was Morocco. Saibari, bottom right corner of the goal, technically. Bottom right corner of the goal, snipes it down there. And Morocco steals it from Netherlands and then moving on to play Canada in the round of 16. And then we got one of the biggest upsets that I've seen. Probably the biggest upset I've seen in my time of watching the World Cup. Paraguay and Germany. Paraguay actually opens the scoring in the 42nd minute. But again, Germany was easily dominating this game. But Paraguay was just staying in it. But they were able to tie the game. Germany was able to tie the game. Beautiful header in the 54th minute. But they actually took the lead. But it goes to extra time 1-1. Germany took the lead in the 102nd minute. But it got taken back for offside, I believe. And then goes to penalties. And Paraguay steals it in penalty kicks, and then moving on to the round of 16. What a game. But then France dominates Sweden. I mean, they would completely dominate Sweden in that game. That wasn't very close. For sure. Belgium, what a game this was, by the way. Wow, Belgium. 3-2 over Senegal. Senegal's completely dominating this game. Diarra opened the scoring 25th minute, great goal. And then Sarr adds on 2 in the 54th minute, and then yeah, it's 2-0. In the 86th minute, Lukaku for Belgium in the 86th minute, get them on the board. And then in the 89th minute, Tielemans ties it in extra time in 125th minute. Tielemans, his second of the game on a penalty, snipes it top left of the net. What a shot. What a moment for Belgium. They scored 3 goals. 2 in the last 4 minutes, including both within 3 minutes. And then they score a penalty in the 125th minute, steal it from Senegal, and they're moving on. Team USA able to beat Bosnia and Herzegovina. But Flo Balogun scored early, called offside, and then he scores again. First to react to the deflection, turns around and snipes the bottom of the net. And then Tillman with a man down because they got a goofy red card on Flo Balogun. They're able to draw a free kick, a beautiful shot, an absolute perfect shot from right outside of the box. Snipes in. America won the game off of that. 2-0. Matt Freese, clean sheet. Clean slate. No, clean sheet. What a game for them. And then moving on to play Belgium, and they have to relinquish some demons, but we'll talk about that later. Spain completely dominates Austria, takes full advantage late, and they just dominated that game. Portugal able to steal one against Croatia. That was an awesome game. Portugal able to come away with it, including Cristiano Ronaldo, penalty kick goal. Brazil actually was losing this game against Japan heading into the halftime, and then they tied it, and then they stole it late, just like the Canada game. That was an awesome game. Norway just able to beat Ivory Coast. Haaland scored the game-winning goal late. Mexico able to take down Ecuador 2-0. England, Harry Kane scored 2 awesome goals late and steal the England savior. Switzerland takes down Algeria. Colombia able to squeak out a victory against Ghana. Egypt takes down Australia 4-2 in penalty kicks. And Argentina able to come back and find a way to beat Cabo Verde. Defending champs stay alive. We go up to the round of 16. Morocco pretty much dominates Canada. I mean, it wasn't as bad because they obviously scored one late. But even if it was 2-0, just Morocco was the better team. France, they had Mbappe had to score a penalty kick in in the 80th minutes, I believe, something like that, late in the game. Paraguay were just playing hard-nosed football, but just couldn't get the job done. France, job done. USA completely folded against Belgium. I mean, there's levels to the World Cup, dude, and they proved it. USA just cannot get over the round of 16 hump or the Belgium hump. And Belgium just was the better team that game. USA looked scared. Belgium able to get the job done. Spain get the late goal, walks it off. In Portugal, and Cristiano Ronaldo retired. Norway, 2 goals from Haaland, upsets Brazil. Neymar got a goal late in his last game ever. He retired. England, the best game I've ever seen from the World Cup. In the Azteca, in Mexico City, England goes in there and steals it in Mexico. What a game. Switzerland wins 4-3 in penalty shootouts. And Argentina come back in the 80th minute with 3 goals in the last 10 minutes, including the tying goal from Messi to win the game. What a comeback for Argentina. Quick quarterfinal predictions here. Let's go through it here. Some predictions of all the games until next Tuesday. Are we ready, chat? Tomorrow, I have France beating Morocco. I'm going to say France 2-1 over Morocco in regulation. Friday, I have Spain beating Belgium 2-0. Saturday is going to be England over Norway 3-2. I think in extra time. Argentina over Switzerland 3-1. I think they'll win pretty handily. And then we'll go to the semifinal. We'll do semifinal prediction just in case. That'll be Tuesday too. So yeah, we'll have to do semifinal predictions. This game I believe will be France and Spain. If it is France and Spain, I have France winning that game 2-0. If it's Morocco and Spain, I'll have Morocco winning 2-1. If it's Belgium and France, I'll have France winning 3-1. If it is Belgium and Morocco, I'll have Belgium winning 2-0. That's that. So those are all the possible scenarios. I'll tell you that right now. But I have France over Spain 2-1. This game, if it's England versus Argentina, which I have, I'll take Argentina 2-1 in extra time. If it's Switzerland versus England, I'll have England 3-2. No, I'll have them 2-0. If it's Norway versus Argentina, I have Argentina 3-1. If it's Switzerland versus Norway, I'll have Norway 3-2 in regulation. Those are all the scenarios I have for semifinals. I have Argentina and France rematch of the World Cup final, and France winning currently. And those are my semifinal predictions for all the scenarios. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the basketball/World Cup sports segment. Again, throughout the rest of this World Cup and the 2030 World Cup and the 2034 World Cup. Hopefully I'm still streaming by then, but regardless, so every single World Cup, I'm gonna always be doing World Cup on American Football Tuesday, including for the rest of this one. Starting next Tuesday, the next World Cup sports segment throughout the rest of this World Cup will be on Tuesdays, okay? But this was just an off because I didn't stream this Tuesday, okay? But anyway, this would do it for the basketball sports segment/World Cup sports segment. Again, World Cup sports segment will be on Tuesday from now on. But yeah, that would do it for this sports segment. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.